Another beautiful morning in Bakewell. Uh, I can't look this way because the sun is so bright and strong. So I'm looking towards the Packhorse Bridge over the River Wye. And if you notice, my face is half and half now. Half in the light and half in the shade. And it's just a choice, usually for each of us, how to live each day. We can choose to live it in the light, or we can choose to live it in the shade. That sounds a bit kindergartenish, to be honest. But when you're walking down the street on a sunny day, and there's this sunnen seit and the schatten seit, that's the only German I know, by the way. Sunny side, shady side. I like saying schatten, I think that's the truth of it. Sunnen seit, schatten seit. You can choose to continue to walk on the shady side, or you can cross over, as I always choose to do, to the sunny side. And in these days of solitary confinement, we also have a choice how to live our day. There's that lovely saying which I find very helpful. You don't see the world as it is, you see the world as you are. And I think this is a very helpful memento mori. Oh no, that's to be remembered before you die. Oh well, whilst you live, memento vivo. Whilst you live, remember this. You don't. The world is completely at peace with being the world. Let me see. I'll just ask the river. River Wye, are you content today being the river? Yep, completely just rolling by. Richard Hawley's got some lovely songs. One called The River, which you might like to check out. I'll just ask the birds, are you all right with the world the way it is? Seem to be quite happy. No clouds or shade of anxiety or depression there, I think. Ducks, all good? Everything all right? Yeah. So, you see, everything is completely as it should be, at peace in the world. This is the nature, this is the starting point. In meditation this morning, I had you're not supposed to have images or words in meditation. You're supposed to be clear in mind. This is nonsense, by the way. Good luck. Unless you're in deep meditation, there's no way you can get rid of thoughts and images. In my case, you've got as much chance as trying to sweep a large puddle off a flat garage roof. The thoughts just come back, and welcome them. Don't be aggressive with your thoughts. They're there. They're an aid actually to meditation when you get used to it. Because who is the observer of those thoughts? And that's the interesting question. But I digress. We project onto, if you like, a perfect, complete, always here, always now, nothing wrong, nothing missing, blank canvas of this beautiful world that we are fortunate in this nanosecond of cosmic history to inhabit. And whether we experience it as a joy or a disaster is a mental projection. I think that's invariably true. I haven't yet had no, this is not true. I was going to say I've not had any personal tragedies that would make me change my mind. I've had the usual round of disappointments, tragedies, businesses going bust, relationships ending, depression, usual. But I think it is a fair comment for all of us that you see the world as you project onto it. So in these constrained days where we're confined to barracks or to our bedroom or wherever, it is an opportunity to choose how to enjoy it and whether it becomes creative or destructive. What's that saying by, I want to say Proust, or is it Proust? Brussels Proust said that all the troubles in the world are caused by the inability of a man to sit quietly in his room. And there's a certain truth to that. When you come to rest like a ball bearing in one of those puzzles, you know, that you swivel on the palm of your hand, when you come to rest, there's no doing to be done. There's no agitation towards not this. I don't want this. I want some other this. There is only here and now, but I really wish there was a next. And in this quietness where we're allowed out once a day for exercise, this is my morning run on day 2 of lockdown. When you come to rest, and when society comes to rest, it's remarkable how you start to see that behind all the frenetic activity of dealing rooms and online Skypes and spreadsheets and mixing bags of cement, whatever it is you do, there is this always present, always calm, always complete backdrop of perfect peace. So the trick of meditation, well, any practice, breathing meditation, yoga, I guess, yoga is also a coming to rest. There's that lovely, one of my favorite verses from Psalms is, "Be still and know that I am God." And I love passing this through my mind like a mantra, like rosary beads or mala beads through the fingers of my mind. Be still and know that I am God. And a very simple revelation came to me just very recently. The starting point, in fact the only point of reference, is being still, or simply being. Simply being still, or rather simply being, that's it. In the being, everything else follows. The knowing comes afterwards. In our rational, scientific mindset that we project onto the world, we do it the other way around. We think that knowing all kinds of shit, useful shit, will get us to a better place of being. Don't think so. There's always something we don't know, isn't there? Was it Dick Cheney? No, it's not. It's not Dick Cheney. It's that other hawk in the glasses, the American Defense Secretary, I think he was. Donald Rumsfeld. Fabulous name. Rumsfeld. He got into trouble. He was mocked, in fact, for saying something perfectly reasonable in all fairness to the man, that he says there are known unknowns and unknown unknowns. And no matter how many how many letters we add to the quantum equations of the underlying reality, or however clever we get with our MRI scanners, or our, fingers crossed, jetpacks, soon to be here, your personal jetpack, there'll always be something that we don't know, something beyond. So knowing of that type, let's call that information knowing, will always be incomplete. But there is a different kind of knowing, and you might call this the knowing of the heart. It doesn't require scientific fact to corroborate it. What is the knowing of a love for a dog, for example? I've started to really love my kids' dogs. Ziggy, the wire-haired dachshund with the Heinz baked beans jacket, the sausage dog, and what's Pepino in Mexico, who I've not met yet. I mean, my kids love their dogs. I might do there's a website called, I think it's called mindmydoggy.com, where you can actually sort of dog share. I like that idea. So what sort of knowledge is the love of your dog, and of course the love of your lover or your kids? C.S. Lewis very helpfully identifies 4 loves. Amicus, the love of friends. I love my friend Andrew. He swore at me this morning. There's a robin on the post just there. Good morning, Robin. Good morning, Andrew. Amicus, Filius, the love of children. There's Eros, sexual love, and there is agape, which is divine love, God's love. So when you say you love someone or something, it can mean any number of things, like the Eskimos have words, 100 words for snow. We should have perhaps at least a dozen words for love. So this kind of knowledge, this kind of knowing, is not of information or the intellect, of facts, but of affection, shall we say. And it's unquestionable. If you say, I love you, it's something that you mean, let's say, from the heart. So this is a heart knowing. And I suppose I was going to leave it there, but in quietness, in this, when you are still and know that I am God, that knowing is a qualitatively deeper sense of knowing. I know what best describes it. There is a lovely expression in German, but I don't know the German. Oh yes, I do. It's called die Grunde, the ground of your being. Meister Eckhart, I think, is very fond of this expression, die Grunde. I am quarter German, so I should really know a bit more German than I do, having had a German girlfriend for 2 years. So that's 2 words I know in German, schatten and Grunde. And this ground of our being, you just shift your attention right now. If I say, focus on the ground of your being, I think your attention immediately goes downwards, away from the head, maybe to the heart, but no lower, to the belly. To the belly. What is it that the Japanese warriors, samurai, call their center of their being? The hara, that's it. Maybe to your hara, which is sort of below the navel, I think. That's where you stick the sword in, I think, if you've had enough, if you're a wasted samurai. Or maybe even lower, to the ground of your being, that which is unmovable, indubitable, almost beyond the knowing of facts and intellect. It's just there and you know it. So in the stillness of being, it's this knowing that I think this verse from Psalms is referring to. Don't know which psalm it is, you'll have to look it up. Be still and know that I am God. This is a very happy knowing. This is a sunny side of knowing. And it's never in the shade, this kind of knowing. But being still comes first. You have to come to rest, preferably in the sunshine, by a river, with the birds singing. Ciao.